This episode of the DolphinsTalk.com podcast is sponsored by Caneswear. Caneswear.com is the spot where Miami fans shop. That's Caneswear.com. Caneswear.com, the best and most affordable gear for the Miami Dolphins, the Miami Marlins, the Miami Heat, the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, all of the professional and college sports teams in South Florida. Caneswear.com has you covered. If you're in South Florida, you can visit the storefront at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. They ship internationally as well. So Caneswear.com, make it the place. It's the best and most affordable Miami Dolphins gear. That's Caneswear.com, Caneswear.com. And don't forget about Dolphins Talk Extra. Go to patreon.com/DolphinsTalk for additional Miami Dolphins content. You get extra access to our private Discord server. You get bonus podcasts covering the Miami Dolphins. You get off-topic content as well. We have live watch-alongs. We have retro rewatches where we watch old games and talk about them. We do off-topic shows. We have prizes, contests, all kinds of exclusive access only for Dolphins Talk Extra subscribers. So join us, patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. You can join the fun for as little as $3 a month. Head on over to Dolphins Talk Extra at patreon.com/DolphinsTalk. And now, on with the show.
You're listening to the DolphinsTalk.com podcast, the most listened to daily Miami Dolphins podcast on the internet.
Miami's got the Dolphins, the greatest of all.
Come on, Dolphins fans. Time to fins up.
We're in the air, we're on the ground, we're always in control. And when you say Miami, you're talking Super Bowl. Cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins number one.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dolphins Talk. Today, I am joined by a former Miami Dolphin second-round draft pick and offensive tackle, Todd Wade. Mr. Wade, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Good morning.
Good morning. It looks like you're having a beautiful morning. You're in Florida again, living in Florida. How's that going?
Everything's been going great, with all things considered, for a kind of a quick move, it seemed like. But everything's kind of falling into place. Just the house and things like that will be kind of ongoing for a year or so. But have a new puppy.
Oh,
Nice
so
little
cute.
beast.
What's its name?
What's your name, buddy? this Leo.
Leo.
Leo. He's a Vizsla, and he's starting to get. They get a little active at a young age because they can run. They're really fast. And they need a lot of work, but they're good dogs.
Well, he is precious. Thanks for having him make an appearance.
Yeah.
So we're going to get right into it. You had an 8-year NFL career. You played in 99 games. What is Todd Wade up to these days before we get into the actual what you did back in the day? What is life after football like for you?
Well, nine credited seasons now. I gotta get my 1 year out.
9 credited. Got it.
Now I've been in real estate investing for a while. When I quit playing football, I moved back to Oxford. Really didn't know what I wanted to do, and still don't. And you come up with different ideas and things you really like, and it kind of got. I just kind of ended up buying a rental house, and then kind of went from there into apartments and storage and things of that nature. I still own and operate storage, but it's none of it's really just that. It's never been a passion of mine, so I'm always kind of looking. So I'll end up getting into coaching at some point, not on a college level or NFL, but specifically high school and youth. It's something I've kind of thought about for a long time and would like to get into. I feel like I kind of have a lot to teach. When you play for a while and then you're done, you start thinking about things. You watch games, and then you kind of you think of things that you learned from offensive line coaches that were great. It was great information, and so each one has its own um, uh, influence on the player. So it's you kind of take all that, and you just kind of dwell on it for years and think about how you could apply that, and because it's you have your general basics of in coaching, play low, use your hands, good footwork and things like that. But sometimes it can be taught a little differently, but it's also there's much more to it. And I think you can really, in just the way you approach it and think about it and how you're going to play. So I could see myself at some point doing that. But as of right now, we moved down here, um, nothing really other than doing some of the same things I was doing, but it's never really been a true passion of mine. My things I like to do happen to be outside and usually in the water. So that's kind of,
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Miami needs a little bit of offensive line help. Maybe we can get you down there and get those boys up and running.
Somebody mentioned that to me a long time ago, and I said I'd probably be a blocking tight end now, and I'd be good for a few plays,
There you go.
before I tore my Achilles or something like that.
Yeah, we wouldn't want all that to happen to you. So, well, you were born and raised in Mississippi, which from my background, as you can see, that's where I'm currently, that's my home base at the moment.
Mhm.
And you played college football at Ole Miss. Was the plan always to go to Ole Miss, or did you consider that rival Mississippi State or another college?
Good question. I grew up in Ole Miss family. My dad, granddad played football at Ole Miss. My, just about everybody in the family either went there or was a fan of it.
Hmm.
So when it came time to recruiting, I did try to put some of that aside to be open-minded. And my older brother at the time actually went to state, and he was there, but he was there more for his major. He was kind of secretly probably a Ole Miss fan at the time, but
I was gonna say, I mean, I'm surprised the family didn't outcast him if everybody's Ole Miss.
we weren't too bad like that. I had cousins that went to state and everything, because you also it could be someone, to say you're living in Greenwood,
Mhm.
Mississippi, and you're a lot of or Brandon, Mississippi, where there's a lot of state people. You might have some influence from your friends that are there, and you
Yeah.
just kind of want to go with your friends. So that happens. Or a specific major like ag econ or something like
Mhm.
that. There's things that can draw you to different schools, and Mississippi State is a really good school. Um, but and I have a lot of good friends that went there. But no, Ole Miss was always what I wanted. But it was really funny when at the time we were on probation, and we had 13 scholarships, and they kind of needed to make a move. And I remember my granddad calling me. I was getting ready to actually go visit the state, out of all places,
Mm.
and I I kind of like the I was wanting to go on some visits, and like I think I was going to Arkansas the next week, and just doing it just to do it. And I remember my granddad called one morning, like on a Tuesday morning, the week of, and it's like, "Hey, what are you doing? Well, Miss Coach offered you a scholarship. You need to take it. That's it." And I was like, "All right, yes, sir." So that was kind of it. That was kind of
That locked it up for you.
Yeah. So obviously, I wasn't too serious about going other places. So that was definitely something I wanted to do, and go and help really from scratch with that team that was decimated with probation, bowl bans, and all that stuff. It was the worst
Mhm.
since SMU's death penalty at that time. So had a lot of work to do, and had a good core group come in and really help establish that program and kind of get it going, get it back on track. And we had some success there. Not exactly what we wanted, but it was we were a very tough competitive team, and it's had some really good coaches, and really enjoyed my time there.
Good. Yeah, I went to my first Ole Miss game last year against the Sooners, so it was a really cool environment and got to see the Grove and all of that. So
Yeah.
what a cool place to play football. So and that
Yeah.
actually you know, got you to where you were a second round pick by the Dolphins in 2000 and you played in this is what blows my mind and we talked about this backstage, but you played in the game which was the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game. December 30th, 2000, over the Colts, a 23-17 win. Good day for the offensive line. Lamar Smith ran the ball 40 times for 209 yards in the win, including the game-winning touchdown in overtime. So with that game, I have two questions for you. One, can you believe that that is the last time the Dolphins won a playoff game?
I cannot. I would not have. I would not have thought that. You eventually think after say 5 years there's a drought. You have 5 years. Your management, everyone figures it out, and you build the right defense, offensive line. You can't. It's tough to have everybody, but that's really surprising to me. And a quarterback's been an issue for a long time, but it's a little. It's 1 year the offensive line can be great. 2 years later, it's not. So it just swings like that, and hopefully they can get some more consistency. I enjoy watching them, and hopefully they can turn it around this year.
100%. So what do you remember? Is there anything you can tell us since it's the last thing we have to cling on to, that playoff game? Is there anything you remember about that game that you can share with us?
See, well, that was the third time we played the Colts that year. So that for me as a rookie, that was really interesting going against the same guy. And a matter of fact, I overlooked the defensive end I was playing as a rookie a lesson and that first game against the guy didn't have. Let me see, what was the first game? No, it might have been the second game. The first game I didn't even face the guy. Second game I did, and the regular season, and just didn't have that good of a game. Just had a few plays I would have taken back. So I was here comes the playoffs, get another opportunity, and you kind of figure a player out watching him on film, and did that, and I ended up having a really good game. But it was this kind of a nice teaching tool, just kind of welcome to the NFL thing, because you're seeing somebody on tape. They might not look as good as you think they are, but they may be skilled in other ways. And I remember the guy just like slapped my hand down, and he had his head. He was more of a hands guy, and you see that, you kind of wait for it, and then you adjust. And so I remember that was a really good game for me, not just in winning the playoff game, but kind of having success with the same guy that I didn't, like maybe in October, November that year. So it was a fun game. I remember the last play to win the game, wasn't expected to break that run and go in and score and finish the game. So that was, it was, down to the wire. I just almost was like, everybody was celebrating around me. I'm like, what happened? He broke. I didn't know he broke it. So that was it. So it was a really, really, really good time. You get your first playoff win, and then you feel like you're kind of rolling. You're waiting for, okay, what's next? And we're going out to Oakland, and then kind of the wheels fell off. So
Yeah.
we fumbled early in the game. Returned for a touchdown, I believe. Then it was just a lot of different things. We had some turnovers, and probably wasn't the defense's best day either. So it was just wasn't to be. And they were a really good team, but so are we. But a little disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that is, but I mean, thank goodness you guys got that playoff win for us, because I mean, then we'd be going into the 1900s, as the young kids would say, and that would be really scary.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. But it was, you learned a lot. I mean, my rookie year, I Kevin Donnelly playing next to me. Really really good guards. He is like his 10th year. I was in my rookie year, so that was really a blessing for me, having an older vets around me, because by the time my last year at Miami, I was kind of the young guy and still, but those guys were all retiring. So
Yeah. Well, you played with Ricky Williams, and obviously Ricky had some dominant seasons in 2002 and 2003. What was it like blocking for Ricky, and how did you guys get along?
got along fine. Ricky typically kept to himself, kind of off the field. He was just that. He was just his personality, and really, you respect him as a player. He's a smart guy. He was always in the right place. He was a good blocker, aside from being able to run the ball. You feel like when he came on the team, if you just did your job, there's always that chance that he could break an 80-yard run. And he had the speed to do it, but he obviously had the strength to break tackles, and make someone miss. So when you realize you have someone special like that in the backfield, it gives you that little extra something, or maybe a little excitement. And it was really like when we led the league in rushing, we had 3 or 4 200-yard rushing games just by him, not total yards, but just his yards. And it was one of the more fun for an offensive lineman. It didn't get much more fun than that. That's kind of the measures for success with an offensive line, not just running the ball, but pass protecting as well. And just because it's your fault if not. So you have those kinds of seasons, and it's a good feeling.
As a fan, it doesn't get any more exciting than that. I remember watching that from my screen. I mean, we know it takes a good offensive line to allow those breaks. I mean, and having him do that was huge for fans. And and you mentioned rushing. I mean, in 2002, he led the NFL in rushing with over 1,800 yards. Did he take care of the offensive line and get you guys anything nice at the end of the season for that?
Have a nice watch from him.
Okay.
I do have a nice watch from him. It's actually in the safe. So,
Okay. Yeah, if it's in the safe, that was a good one.
yeah. No, that's a good one. It's more so it doesn't, my kids don't grab it and do something with it. So I'm trying to protect, especially a sentimental item like that. So it was a good gift, and there may have been more, but that was the one thing. You hear about all kinds of different gifts from quarterbacks to running backs, but that was very nice of him. But it was when he got there, it was kind of Ricky mania, with the fans and everybody, and you just kind of felt that. So as an offensive lineman, to be part of an offensive line that was blocking for him, you wanted to be held in the highest regard. You want to do your job and not be the person that's holding him back.
100%. Now, I know you won't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say also that I don't know if you remember the Buffalo game. We're at Buffalo. I believe it might have been 03. If it wasn't 02, it might have been 03, but it was a snow game, significant snow game. I mean, I could barely make out the defensive end in front of me at one point. That's no joke. It was like that. There was a picture in Sports Illustrated from the sidelines. You couldn't see anybody, and I could barely make out the guy on block and his jersey number. That's how thick it was. But anyway, we ran for over 200 something yards, at least 220, and we lost the game somehow. So
gosh, that dang narrative of the Dolphins can't play in cold weather. I mean, what in the world?
That was yeah. I'm sure there's other areas where we obviously didn't play well in some other areas that day, but we definitely ran the ball well. But you couldn't. That was just something you have run back rush for 220 yards or so. It's an automatic. I mean, I was probably the 99% chance you're going to win the game.
Yeah, you look at that on paper and you're like, that team won for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And for an offensive line, you're like, you're frustrated because that's
Yeah.
that one time you're frustrated because like that's not supposed to happen.
Mm. Yeah, especially to the dang Bills. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
So I know you only played one season with him, but fans have been advocating, and I have to ask your opinion. How is Richmond Webb not in the Hall of Fame at this point?
He should be. He should be. He was an outstanding offensive lineman for the Dolphins. Really, I mentioned Kevin Donnelly being next to me my rookie year and being a big help and, just easygoing guy. Richmond was on the left side, exact same way. Can't say enough about him. He just great patience as an offensive lineman, great pass protector. He's just kind of he was such a seasoned vet by the time and kind of the wise old man on the team. I remember running out of the tunnel like the first game, it's all fired up, and I see him on the sidelines, and he's just kind of sitting down, calmly sitting down, kind of waiting for the game to start. Everybody else is bumping into each other, getting all fired up, and so I saw that. I'm like, what am I doing? I need to be doing what he's doing. So I just go sit down on the bench and basically copy him.
I like it. Yeah, I mean,
You're
calm,
like,
cool,
what's up?
collected.
Yeah. Just that's the way he was. He'd been there, done that. He's probably looking at people like me like we're, immature or crazy. And so, but no, Richmond was great. He was so. I mean, everyone loved him. Still do. I get to see him every once in a while, whether it's former teammates Hall of Fame induction or something in the stadium. So I usually almost once a year or something. There's always some type of event, and I love coming back just to see those guys. There's nothing more that I like. We spend a good bit of time with someone, and it's not just a working relationship. You're kind of exposed, right? So whether you're upset at something or happy, you're around each other nonstop. So there's that person that really the special bond with your old teammates. That's always really special. So I always try if say Tim Bowen's getting inducted to the Ring of Honor, absolutely. That's another Ole Miss guy. But great person, great teammate. You can't ask for a better teammate, and you feel obligated to go, but also you want to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, imagine it's like a brothership. I mean, you guys are traveling different states. You're with each other probably more than you are with your family at that point. I mean,
Oh yeah, and what was neat about that and with that team, and I never got this on other teams. It kind of that's one of the things kind of pained me after I left because it was never the same at all. We would go. I remember we went. I think we may have lost at New England or somewhere like that. And after the game, where we parked at the airport in Fort Lauderdale, we drove and kind of met like almost at a gas station, like you would at high school, having a beer or whatever, and we were just talking and stuff like that. So it's, it would probably been funny for someone to drive up to a gas station at 11 o'clock at night and you see just half the Miami Dolphins team sitting there talking in the parking lot. And that's kind of how it was. So it was truly special.
yeah, that would be a little random for sure. So, yeah, I mean, you talked about it not being the same. You left Miami and signed with Houston in 2024. What happened there? Did you want to stay in Miami? Did they not try to keep you? Was it a money issue? Like, just how did that all pan out?
I kind of give you my opinion. I think the general manager at the time waited to like the last minute. It was kind of more of a mental game, but I've been there for 4 years, started the whole time, and it was kind of like, why did even right as the season ended, before free agency began, why wouldn't you just come up and say, hey, give us some time, we'll be reaching out to your agent. It was silence, probably about until a week before free agency. So at that point, it was just like kind of a slap in the face, and that's the way I kind of took it. And it was
Mm-hmm.
more of a mental game. And I was aware that this had been done before with other players who were better than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was kind of a bad tactic. But because it ended up, I went somewhere where it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the same, and I didn't feel the same, and it's just the training regimen, everything was different. Um, but it was, you had this I don't want to say intimidation thing, but it was just kind of this weird, well, we'll see if you belong here or not kind of thing. It was just kind of to make you feel so you'll be like accept whatever or accept
Mm-hmm.
a lesser offer. This is before really money was even mentioned. It just got like that, so it just kind of got off on the wrong foot once the season ended. It was if there is something hindsight, you could have gone and just gone upstairs and said, "Hey, listen, this is my concern," and just talk
Mm-hmm.
things without an agent. But it didn't happen, and life goes on. But that it was just more of a. It just kind of was. It just waited to the last
Mm-hmm.
minute and
Yeah.
kind of had to make a decision.
Fortunately, Miami's still having some of those issues where certain players are, that's happening. So, unfortunately, I wish we could say that some of that's changed, but not a ton. Do you still follow the NFL these days? And if so, do you keep up with the Dolphins? Are you like in front of your TV on Sundays watching the team?
I do, and if you and the Dolphins are on, I watch them. I do, and now being down here, I'll get that opportunity much more. It's and I tell you what was really neat. Years back, and I can't remember what the event was for. It was it's at the stadium. I still call it Pro Player Stadium.
Yeah, that's what I remember it as.
Is it Hard Rock now?
um, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yes, yeah,
Okay.
I think
Uh,
it's been a while since I've been down there, but yes,
yeah. So,
yeah,
but
Hard Rock.
I,
Mhm.
I was I was going walking on the stadium, and I was getting ready to go up there to go player suite. I was going to Nat Moore and the Dolphins alumni. They do a great job for the former players, just to get to see each other again.
Mhm.
It's a really nice. Well, I ran into Twan Russell below the stadium. It's like, hey, you want to come out on the field for a little bit? And I went out there with him on the field before the game started. And when you can smell the grass, specific grass, like it's not every stadium doesn't smell the same. The
Mhm.
grass doesn't smell the same. You think it would, but it doesn't. And it was like an emotional thing. You smell it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Yeah, because you just get flooded with these memories and things like that. Um, so it was really special. The little things you don't think about. It's I don't know if it's areas of the country. It could be the soil content, salt. I mean
Mhm.
sand, whatever. But or the type of sod, I have no idea. But it was like it was so recognizable that you could taste it. So it was I try to get back there when I can and try to enjoy myself and see my teammates.
Absolutely. So, any thoughts on this Miami Dolphin, just in general, the upcoming season, or kind of where the Dolphins have been at these past couple years with Tua under the helm?
You know, protecting Tua is always tough because now it's like once you had a number of concussions, it's like you could thump somebody in the head and then get another one.
Mhm.
It's just started. Same thing happened with Troy Aikman. It's just one after another when that starts happening. Um, you just don't know how long he's be able to do it. You got to respect that man. He's well respected by his teammates, but man, just to go out there and keep doing it, it's it's not about the money. You know, at some point he loves the game that much, and he loves his team and wants success. There's things that he feels like he's leaving out on the field, and he has a lot to prove. So
Mhm.
you just don't want to see it. You don't want to see him get hurt again. But he's a man, and he knows what he's doing. Um, but that's just him. Hopefully the offensive line can do a really good job for them this year. I know that's been a big focus for the team. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be watching and see that. Hopefully that's the case.
Coach him on from your couch.
Yeah, right.
So one last question before we get into our final Dolphin speed talk round. What are your thoughts on how the NFL game has changed from when you played? Because during your time, I feel like it was a much more physical, ground and pound, like run the ball type of league. It was starting to transition to more of a passing league, but physicality really mattered. And now the offenses are very wide open and the passing game is what matters. Do you feel like the NFL today, do you like the NFL today compared to when you played?
Not as much. No.
Mhm.
Yeah, I still appreciate the offenses better in the NFL than I do in college.
Mhm.
High school, I think it's almost started with college and then high school. Everything out of gun, moving fast. Um, I think there's drawbacks with a lot of that. I think it can be misleading, specifically for offensive line. Now, you're not seeing that in the NFL as much. They're not running constant hurry ups like they do in some like Ole Miss does.
Mhm.
My issue with that kind of offense is it it's enabling it's bad habits with offensive linemen, but it's also because you're not getting down, you're not using leverage to move your guy. You're just kind of almost holding guys up
Mhm.
and chopping your feet. That's not how if I was to tell you to try to push a car, you're not going to just chop your feet in place. You're going to actually get down low and start pushing, driving the car. If you had it in neutral, and it's the lack of finish. To me, I just can't. I almost can't believe it. I watch Ole Miss play and a lot of just about every other college team, and it's a lot of them just because they have to get back to the line of scrimmage for the next play. It's like they don't even cover downfield. I used to take a lot of pride um, covering, knocking somebody off of a pile that's getting ready to hit Ricky or someone else or a receiver. You don't see that anymore, and I think
Mhm.
that's really really missing. And I also don't think that it's really on. I don't know. I'm going off here because you're asking me about NFL, but I'm talking about college. But I think has had some influence on the NFL because you have the same players
Well, yeah, they're
that's
they're
coming through that
shifting to the
system.
NFL, so
Yes, so they're transitioning to the NFL. So a lot of the offenses might be kind of geared a little bit to help that player as well. I mean,
Mhm.
they're always trying to come up with new ideas and things to increase efficiency. But it's something I'm of the belief that what we're seeing on the college level is not going to last. I think ultimately you go back, and I don't know if they'll be able to with AI and everything else now they can go back and actually and figure that out. But I feel like going back to a ground game and ball controls ultimately is going to win the game. When it all breaks down, I think you you're one side. Okay, but you're scoring this many points. Well, you're wearing your defense out because it's almost some of them. Sometimes like you can almost score too early in a way. It's like
Mhm.
you're not burning up the clock, and then
Mhm.
you're leaving your defense out on the field. Well, the fourth quarter comes around, the game's close, you might be in trouble. I just think that's what it comes down to, and I'm not a big fan of it. I just like seeing offensive linemen play low,
Mhm.
use leverage, and like I say, you don't see as much in NFL as you do college and especially in high school. But I think it's teaching bad technique. Um, in my opinion, it's kind of forcing people to do things that they probably shouldn't be doing. You lose you kind of lose the basics of football by doing that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, and I think too, the physicality part, I mean, there's so many new rules with what you can and can't do, so many more penalty flags that you see
Oh
these
yeah, yeah,
days.
yeah.
I mean, it's just like the whole thing. It's just let the men play football.
Well, roughing the passer,
Yeah.
it's gotten ridiculous. I think honestly, I think the only rule change that I really probably agree with is the horse collar. You
Hmm.
know, and when I was playing, they may have NFL may have passed that rule while I was playing towards the end,
Hmm.
but that was good. I mean, you have players get dragged down from behind and you break their leg.
Yeah.
That's there's no sense in that, and those are good rules. But there's
Right.
others they just helmet to helmet.
We have the hip drop tackle now. I mean, there's just so
Yeah, it's
many
just
things that they're watching over.
they
So
really, really, really need to watch that. I think they're going too far with it, and to me, it's tainting the game because
Mhm.
it then becomes, it puts the official as kind of the judge, and,
right.
and a lot of times, and then, they kick the player out of the game, and there's, how do you measure that? Was the guy's helmet's coming and it grazes it, or was it intentional? Was he trying to knock him out? Probably not. You know, it,
Hmm.
it's overdone, and that's a shame. But maybe at some point, problem is there's not a whole lot of backlash. There's not enough of it. So
Right.
the
Yeah.
fans don't like it, players don't like it, but it doesn't seem to be enough. It kind of keeps rolling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we're going to do to finish this out is we have a new segment called Dolphins Talk Speed Round. 5 questions with Todd Wade. We're going to ask you 5 questions in lightning round style. And if you could just answer them to the best of your ability as quickly as possible, no pressure, no such thing as wrong answers. So are you ready to do this, Todd?
Let's go.
All right. First question. What would you rather see? Ole Miss win a national championship in football or the Dolphins win the Super Bowl?
Come on now. Nah, I got to go with Ole Miss with that.
We won't hold it against you.
But that would be outstanding for the Dolphins to do that. That would like it's been that long.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And it'd be, gosh, for the state of Florida. I mean, though, I can't imagine what would be happening down in South Florida.
Oh my gosh, it'd be crazy. Question 2. Best offensive line coach you played for?
I really had Tony Wise was really good with me in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked that type of offense. It was a power offense, and that fit my style better than his own.
Mm-hmm.
And I happened to have an offensive line coach in college my senior year that learned under Tony Wise. So it was a very, and now I didn't have, now Paul Boudreau was my rookie year. Paul Boudreau was my offensive line coach. He was a great offensive line coach for me, and really liked him a lot. So, but I spent more time with Tony, so that's why I mentioned his name.
Awesome. We love to throw food questions in here. Number 3. What is your favorite breakfast food?
Eggs.
Hey, me too.
Can't beat it.
Scrambled, sunny side. How you doing it?
Usually scrambled.
Same. Okay,
Yeah.
we're on the same page here. All right, question 4. During your time in the NFL, you played in Miami, Houston, Washington, and Jacksonville. Which city did you enjoy living in the most?
Miami. I lived in Fort Lauderdale at the time. Matter of fact, I was the only guy on the team that lived, except for Ricky. He ended up moving out east. I was the only guy on the team that lived east in 95.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Tim Bowens might have. I think he lived further down south, but I believe I was the only guy in Fort Lauderdale because I love boating. It's why I'm back in Florida right now. I had a little boat slip behind my little condo and everything, so
Okay.
it was
Awesome.
a nice little deal.
Oh, sounds pretty idyllic. And last question, favorite movie of all time?
Oh gosh,
I know. You can throw 1 or 2 if you need to.
just a gosh, how could you do this to me? You say 5 or something. I can't think right now. I'm not going to hold up your podcast. I'm just going to throw out something like Star Wars just to say.
Okay, perfect. All the Star Wars people out there will love that answer.
Yeah, but I'm like the first 3. I'm not when it got kind of goofy
Uh-huh.
with the rest of it. Not so much.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Mr. Wade, we really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for what
Thank
you
you.
contributed to the Miami Dolphins while you played for the team. I do a countdown every year of how many days we are till regular season, and when your number was brought up this year, I posted about it, and a lot of people still have lots of love for you down in Miami.
Thank
So,
Well, it means a lot. It really does. And that was sent to me, by the way. So,
oh, cool.
yeah. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Great. Hope you enjoy your new move and living back in South Florida. Hopefully, you can get to some more games while you're down there.
I will.
And
I will.
anything you want to say to Dolphins fans listening before we close out?
Keep the faith. They'll they'll figure it out this year. If not, maybe next year. I'm actually heading down. I'm heading down to Key West next weekend for a lobster mini season. So I'll be driving through Miami. Um, you know, thank you. I would say thank you for supporting the Dolphins. And while I was there, it was some of the best 4 years of my life.
Mm.
Really enjoyed it. Passionate base. And you know what? When we go back to games, it's nice just walking through the parking lot. One, either being recognized, which to me is kind of shocking, because you've been gone for so long, and what I wasn't there for 8 years,
Yeah.
and just the kind of the hospitality, and it's just fun, kind of because you're used to getting in in your vehicle after the game, getting on the turnpike and heading back to Fort Lauderdale, but you always kind of drove by the tailgates, never really stopped. But now when you come back, I'm parked out in the parking lot, so I'm walking back through, and it can help. I end up sitting there talking to somebody and having a good time. So always very hospitable, and God bless them.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. It's nice that you get to enjoy the other side of it nowadays. So, well, everybody out there in Dolphins Talk, again, offensive tackle Todd Wade just joined us. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to Dolphins Talk and hit that like button. And we hope that everybody out there has a wonderful rest of your day, and fins up.
Hey everyone, Mike here from DolphinsTalk.com, and thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to take a second to smash the like button here on this video, and also to ensure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. We thank you so much for listening, and we know there are a lot of podcast options out there these days regarding the Miami Dolphins and with non-Miami Dolphins podcasts. So we do appreciate you giving us a few minutes each and every day to tune in and listen to all of our shows. Everyone here on staff, thanks you so much. And if you enjoy these shows, also please be sure to sign up for Dolphins Talk Extra, our Patreon service, at patreon.com/Dolphins Talk, where we have bonus podcasts about the Dolphins and some shows not about the Miami Dolphins. We have a private message board. We also have a ton of contests where we give away really cool prizes, and it's all for the low cost of $3 a month. Again, that's patreon.com/Dolphins Talk. And also, please be sure to follow the written content we have up on our website. So check out the website, DolphinsTalk.com, each and every day. Once again, thank you again for listening. Take care, and we'll talk to you again real soon.